Hey everyone, welcome to my video on Paragon, the New Dawn. In this video, I'm going to talk about just a couple things I like about the game and what I hope to see that the game turns into from what they had in Legacy to Monolith and now into the New Dawn. So the New Dawn has changed a decent amount of things in the game, be that the card system, they added a thing called pips and gems, and they also have increased the time to kill so that you're just attacking super fast. There's no real delay anymore. So they've changed a lot in the game. So the first thing I want to go into is the gem system and then go into the card system that they've done. So the decks now are a little bit different. You have you have up to 5 affinities. You can pick 2 of them for any deck you want, for any hero. There's no limitations and it's like, oh, I want this champion, but he's only allowed to have death in order. No, you can pick anything you want here. So in this case, I'm just going to pick growth and an order and open the card system up. Now you can have up to 12 cards here, 3 min, and then you have your gems as well. You have to 6. You cannot have less than 6. It's required to have 6. So I'm going to go into the gems first and kind of go back into the cards and what to do in them. So now this is one of my favorite things in the game is the pip system. Every 1,000 gold you get 1 point into one of your attributes. You pick and choose which one you want to put it into. But it's once you place that point, you cannot get it back. It's stuck in that attribute that you placed in. So if you misclicked or I didn't need a vitality, I needed an agility, you kind of you have to wait until the next 1,000 gold to get it back to put another point into something else. One of the things that shows this allows for really different builds and different styles. So you want to be half tank, half damage. You want to look for you want to be all damage, so you want to go straight agility. You want to have that health where you can sit there and actually survive and tank. There's a lot of possibilities so in the game with the gem system. And one of the gem system possibilities here is that you can see different tiers of gems here. As you go up, you get higher and higher gem tiers. So if you get all 25 points, that'll cost 25,000 gold, of course. You're able to get and activate tier 5 level gems, and you can select which ones you want. So in this case, you want to deal, crit damage. You want to be able to just shoot and run without having a combat penalty when you're trying to kite somebody or trying to catch up with somebody. Or in this case, you want to gain attack speed power. So it's really depending on how you want to play. You want to reduce damage. You want to gain more damage. It's up to you. So this is really, I think this is one of the neat features of the game, and being able to pick and choose and how you want to play the game. Half vitality, half agility. Sometimes maybe you want some intellect depending on what cards you're playing or depending on what type of champion you're playing. So you have to pick and choose on how you want to play that. So it's going to take you a little bit. It's not going to be, this is like the know all be all type build. No, you have to pick what works for you. Maybe you're only doing solo play. Maybe you're doing group play. And that changes your gems up and your decks. Now to go into deck building, I'm not going to go too far into in depth in this because there's a ton of videos in it. I'm just going to give you what I really enjoy about the deck is that you have tons of options in the card system now. You have to have 3, you have to max of 12. But you have a lot of possibilities, meaning that you have your early game build, your mid game build, and your end game build. And being that you're able to mix and match a lot of functionalities, like, okay, in this case, I'm going to hold left lane. So this is one of the best cards on left lane. You gain massive regen out of combat and you gain the armor on top of that. And if you stack a vitality, you want to grab the hero skeleton as well to reduce damage. You're regenning and you're able to just sit in lane and not have to worry about losing out on that gold and that farm early game. And then of course you have your coin master if you want to keep gaining money. As you progress through the game, maybe you want to go full damage, or you want to keep that tankiness going on. It depends on how you want to play the game out. So you have to pick and choose on how you want to play. You want to be a pusher. Okay, I want to go with the 7-point agility card. This is going to give me that extra damage when I have minions, and I'm getting a ton of attack speed, and my minions even move faster and have more health. So that, or I want to go full tank. I'm going with Vital Waters, getting the extra healing effect. So when I'm regenning or if I'm doing anything like that, you have a mix and match. Now, one of the things is you have to pick 3 cards you can only equip at a time. So that is kind of a con, but it's okay. It lets you mix and match cards a little bit better, and you have to pick and choose what to play at that moment. So is it a pro? Is it a con? It can be one or the other. It's up to you how do you decide that. Now, I wanted to state that they have taken in a ton of community feedback. They have nerfed cards. One of the cards that they nerfed was Godmother. Godmother used to be 15% increase in max health. They've reduced it to 10. So that shows that they are paying attention to the game. They also noticed that Knight of Ashra wasn't nearly enough damage for what the card gave. So people were not even using it. They just use it for the basic damage of for the passive. But to get the elevate bonus, you have to only have one card in your inventory, meaning you get a ton of damage, but you're losing out on the attack speed, and you might be losing out on crits. So you have to pick and choose on how you want to play the game and how you want to play your character. So it's up to you. Another card that they did nerf, they noticed that Malik's Tribute was really broken for just straight up damage characters that gain a shield on top of their already stacking shields or stacking HP. So they used to be 20% maximum health, and it gave you attack speeds instead of health. So that was a real big difference, and it helped a ton of players like Wukong be able to survive for such a long periods of time. So that they do take into consideration what the community is saying and what the feedback is coming about. So one of the things that I love about Paragon is that they're listening to the player base, and they're going to keep enhancing their gameplay. So in the future, we might see more cards, more decks, maybe you can hold more cards. Maybe instead of using 3, you have 4, 5, or 6. So there's a lot of changes that are going to happen within now until they get out of open beta and make into actual ranked play. So there's a lot of possibilities in the game and in the deck. Building with the gems as well, so they've opened up the doors to a lot of possibilities for ranked play, but they also need. I'm hoping that they do a step back and figure out, okay, they need to modify how chess buildings work and where they're going to go from there. But we'll come back into that for another video. So needless to say, one of my biggest things is the gem system. The deck system was kind of a nuisance at the beginning, but now they've really stepped up and modified the game just a tad bit more than what it used to be. You might see a lot of builds the same, but that's because they haven't looked into how to counter somebody, and there's so many options now to counter different champions that people forget that, oh, I lost this card, or I didn't have this. They're just going with a generic build because they saw it on YouTube. The decks and gems and cards all have ways to counter a lot of the same heroes that build static stuff. So read the card, research the heroes, learn everything about them, and then start building your decks to counter. Okay, this deck will counter 5 or 6 heroes. This deck will counter nukers and mages. Oh, when I see somebody like Countess, I know I need to have my 7-point Arcane Dancer. It's going to reduce all damage taken by 85% from ability. That just shuts down any type of nuker. So there's there's a lot of possibilities, and you just have to figure out where you stand in that and how you want to play it out, especially if you're solo play or you're in group play. And then you work with the team and try to figure out, okay, guys, I'm doing this. You guys, and figure out who's doing what. So there's a lot of possibility in the game, and I'm hoping to see where the game's going to go in the future. They just released a new champion. Hopefully, we'll see more champions come down the road, and they keep building out their champion log and balancing the champions as time progresses. They did just buff Zinx, Wraith, and Gideon back up, so they're a little bit more viable now. I would like to see them do a little bit more nerfing on a couple other champions, but we'll see what happens in the near future of Paragon. So if you're looking for a new MOBA, I recommend trying out Paragon. It's still in its baseline. It's still growing, so don't expect the game to be perfect. Don't expect the matchmaking to be excellent. But if you do need a new game, please leave a comment below. Let me know if you start playing. Put your epic. Let me know what your epic contact information is. I'll add you. I'll help you along the way if you need any help. Again, thanks for watching. Press that subscribe button. Hope to see you back here or in Paragon. Take it easy.